Hey everyone, what's up, friends? This is Mozart speaking. So, we had another fun night. By the way, I was sleeping. I missed all of that. And I ended up sleeping until noon in my time. And at that moment, another Millennia token was launched by the same Trump team. Against this backdrop, all of this spilled out. Bitcoin corrected and showed a V-shaped recovery. As a result, on Binance and futures, it's just the most liquid instrument in the entire market. $110,000. Exactly. $110,000. A new high overall. I congratulate everyone. This is a V-shaped recovery. The targets for this V-shaped recovery, well, they're just looking at the chart, maybe a bit higher. Somewhere around 111 at the minimum. And at the maximum, around 113, 114,000, maybe 115, with a cushion, if I can put it this way. The forecast I gave for Bitcoin, the range is 110, 115, 120,000. Overall, we can consider it accomplished. The minimum target has been reached. Moving on. Total 3. Market capitalization of altcoins. As I warned yesterday, it tested $1 trillion. Right at 1 trillion, and we're bouncing back. It's already at 1.09. So, we almost made a 10% gain from the trillion. I don't know if Total 3 is taking into account whether they managed to include Trump and Melania. But probably not Melania, Trump. They probably managed to include it. So, basically, everything is still going pretty stable within Total 3. The only thing is that Total 3 couldn't close the week above the 1.07 mark. It closed at 1.03 trillion, but still, the volume traded was good. Good. The trading volume is good, and everything is still looking up. So, we tested the trillion. Next, dominance. Dominance is totally blowing my mind. So, with these tokens, with these new listings from Trump's team, so it's like an upward absorption, then a downward absorption, and now it seems to be going up again, but that's also in question because of this absorption. We didn't cover it and split off. Plus, we didn't close on dominance. Still, yesterday we didn't close above the 58.7% mark. 58.7%. We didn't close. The closing was at 58.64%. We have to wait again to see how today closes. Again, because they might just dump it all together. This dominance altcoins are going to get pumped, for example. Well, today is Trump's inauguration, so anything can happen. And it's going to go like this, testing that boundary again. So, I can't say anything. These meme coins really skew the whole picture when it comes to dominance. Next, about Trump. Yesterday, it gave a good entry point right in this range, around 40 to 45. Whoever set those limit orders did a great job. Even if you put the grid that I gave, the same thing, from the average entry now there is profit. In principle, there was a reversal from this zone. One could say that I am also such a good guy for buying Trump, but no, I gave up on him and went to bed. I didn't buy anything. But if you did buy, you can definitely take some profits, at least lock in half and set your stop loss to break even, then just relax. I would lock in my profits and set my stop loss to break even. Why? Because this dump candle right now doesn't look good to me. This one, which was on the last but 1 4-hour candle, it entered the gap with this kind of volume. And here we have another descending channel. Just like that. And I would only consider re-entering the long position on Trump if we completely cover the body of this candle. And we'll break above the weekly R3. That is, here, if we go out again, that is, approximately above $70 per crepe. Well then, yeah, we can consider going long again with stop losses set around here, and to take profit somewhere under 100. For now, I would close out and set the next take profit closer to these highs. I moved the stop loss to break even at 100, so I've already taken some profits. But that's if anyone jumped in based on yesterday's review. Next, as for Bitcoin and the weekly chart, there's something interesting. Here we are at the upper boundary of this block that I drew a long time ago, exactly at $110,000. So here we have a potential danger of divergence forming. We need to keep an eye on where Bitcoin is headed and how this current week closes. Just look at the setup right now. And how is this current week going to close? Look at the current setup. So this week. So the first option, if we close this week under, if we close below this level, below the opening of the red candle, this December 1, that is, below the mark of $104,500, then there's a high probability that we'll head back down to the lower boundary of this range. So around the $92,000 mark. So there's a good chance we'll head back down to the lower boundary of this range. So around the $92,000 mark. If this week closes below, we'll head down. If we close above, we'll go higher. If we close above, then we'll go higher. So where are we headed higher? If we close above, then we'll go higher. Where are we headed higher? You can just evaluate it by the channel. Based on some levels of convergence, through diagonal channels, something like that. So, there's some kind of conditional boundary around $115, maybe even $120,000. There's this zone. And it all depends on how we get there. If it's slow, careful, and uncertain, then on the RSI, we'll see a strong divergence drawn right here, and we'll be working it out for a long time. We could be working on this divergence for several months, and we'll be working it out for a long time. We could be working on this divergence for several months. Keep that in mind. If we get there suddenly, if we suddenly, really sharply, and honestly, I don't know, this week and next week, we might break through 120 like that. And if we close here, then most likely the indicator will show a picture like this, covering that peak. And then that will be a strong signal that even $120,000 wasn't the end. This won't be the end. And any significant correction can be bought up, without even expecting a return to 90. So that's roughly the situation right now. I'm throwing out some options for you that work based on the technique. I don't know how it's going to be, but I'm throwing out options for you just in case. But they're all pointing up. In any case, they're coming in now. That's the picture. In this video, I won't be analyzing the altcoins separately. I checked out Total 3. I looked at Trump. There's really nothing to see with Melania. There's only one candle there. It's a 4-hour one. I can't say anything about that. Next, Ethereum separately, Solana separately. I might analyze that in a separate video, but not in this one. Next up, let's talk about the blockchain. There were a lot of liquidations, and in both directions. They cut long positions by 45 million in clean money and shorts by 34 million. Give or take, everyone got hit there. 34 million. Give or take, everyone got hit there on this liquidation. This is the largest liquidation since the December drop. Since December 20th. Since the December drop. Since December 20th. Yeah, before that, it was the largest liquidation. Long-term holders have started to take profits again, but not by much. So, we fell below the average safe line, where there was a good cooling point. Well, that's why I took a long position there. I showed you all those reasons why I'm taking a long position. And once again, those profit-taking actions started to rise. Basically, there's still growth potential up to the red line in the 15-day window. Next, the change ratio of stablecoins on the exchanges has started to creep up a bit. The most important thing, the nice thing is that it's not dropping into the negative zone. Like, for example, it was right here in March. In March, April, that was already in April. 2024 Iranian attack. That would be bad. If the pure change in stablecoin positions on the exchanges started to drop. Not that it would be bad, it would just be worse. Right now, even though it shrunk to almost nothing, it started to rise again. Plus, well, these are the 30-day changes. These histograms. And here's the actual chart. It's only growing, but the growth is starting to slow down a bit. But for now, it's still growth, and that's nice. The main thing is that it's not dropping. Next. Again. All investors on average are back in profit above 95%, meaning over 95% of the entire circulation. Bitcoins are currently in profit, which is a good, necessary sign to confirm a bull market. And again, pay attention to the number of days starting to curve down. This ratio is maintained, meaning that when over 95% of the supply is in profit. It's the standard reaction of a regular market. They dropped almost to zero, and now they're starting to curve down again. Next, the curve for realized profit is starting to bend down again. So this is all within a 30-day window. We dropped from $94 billion to almost $6 billion. We drop once every 15 times. And they started to rise again during this pump. It's currently 8.2. That's also a standard, good reaction of a bull market. Here you can see how they work. Rise, fall, rise, fall, rise. At the same time, the price every time it continues its rise. Well, the same thing happened in 2017. Rise, fall, and so on. Further, look at how perfectly this line worked out. Once again, I've pointed this out many times, that on any bull run, this point is perfect. I had a limit, order set, therefore averaging in 88.38 Cancer. It didn't quite get through to her. So, this line was at the level of 88,200, 88,300. The low was around 88,800, roughly. On Binance, on Bybit, it was around 89. So, it's almost a perfect match. And now we're bouncing back up. The red line, the red one, that's what's called the high band, with one standard deviation above. Right now, it's sitting at the mark of $127,000. It's not constant, it's dynamic. It can either fall or rise, but in regular markets, it's going up, often. Is it possible that the realized price of the short-term holders will reach this red line, the high band? Will the realized price of the short-term holders reach this red line, high band? Yeah. Under what scenario? With the week I showed you, if we somehow manage to jump out like this, with 1 or 2 candles at most. Let's get up here, beyond this red line, and hold our position there. That's it. So basically, the pullbacks could go down to the level of this red line. Or a little lower. Right here. The pullbacks could go up to here at most. At most. Take out this liquidity. Or like this. But then it goes up anyway, to the new high at 127, here. In this scenario, it's possible, probably the only one I see right now. Week's close. It's possible. The most important thing is to see how this week closes right now. Will a divergence form here or not? For now, it's just a potential divergence. It's not closed. It's silly to trade a potential divergence. We don't know how it's going to close and what's going to happen in the market. We need to wait. New entry point for Bitcoin. Well, of course, I'm going to re-enter it. What else should I re-enter into? I'll share it in the Telegram channel. So, in the near future. That's it. That's the overview. For last week. Well, let's see how the inauguration goes today. Will Trump say something important about crypto or not? And how will the memes about Trump react to this? Melania, Trump, and all the other memes. Thank you all. This was Mozart signing off. I wish us all good luck, a great week, and goodbye everyone.